great for narcissism.
For the last 6 months, I've been paying for a membership at a gym called Las Vegas Athletic Club. And I paid for my pass and 2 guest passes. So if any of you guys ever make it to Vegas, you want to train with me, I have 2 guest passes I could take you. This is a Globo Gym. It's probably a 200,000 square foot facility, and the room that I'm in is one of many. It's a 2-story building with a track that goes on it's on the upstairs, the outside perimeter. There's a track that the entire circumference, and there's probably 100 cars in the parking lot. It's a big facility. Now, I came here specifically, this is the first time I've ever set foot in this building. I've been paying for this membership, and I've only trained once at another one. They're all over the valley. There's probably 5 or 6 of them. And I wanted to come here today specifically because they have, hopefully, the physical therapy equipment that I need for my lower back. But my ego wouldn't allow me to walk past the bench press without showing off a little. What I love about places like this is if you're a 315-pound bencher, you're probably top 1% in a place like this. There's a lot of the roided out dude bro types, and they have pretty good physiques, but it's rare to find someone that actually benches heavy. So if you're hitting 315, you're already at the top of the food chain. And I just couldn't resist myself. So, I put 315 on the bar, and one of the dudes was looking over at me, and he gave me that look like, yeah, right. And then when I busted out a set of 7 or 8, I got a little crowd going. I did hit 365 for 2, and they were pretty impressed by that. You can't really see it because the cameraman didn't get the angle where you can see the plates on the end of it, but I actually had 25s on that last set I did. Now, the guys that are training with me are new to training, and they're new to my type of training. So they were puzzled by the fact that I only do 1 working set. And I told them, you got to go to failure. So what I'm demonstrating here is what that looks like. And when you're doing moderate low weight, going to failure for most people is usually when the burn starts. And I was trying to explain to them that you're cutting yourself short because you've got to get past the burn. That's not muscle failure. Failure is when you can no longer perform the lift. So the lighter weights that you work with, the harder that is. Like, imagine if you are a 300, 400-pound bencher and you were trying to take push-ups to failure, let's say. Well, how many push-ups do you think you could do? 100, 200? Before your arms give out, before you can't push anymore. Well, generally what's going to happen is your arms are going to start burning like crazy before you get to that point, and that's when most people quit, because that lactic acid buildup hurts. If you're going to go lightweight, you got to push past that to when your arms actually are unable to push anymore. That's the hard part for most people, and that's why working out with light weights is not often optimal for a lot of people. Sometimes you got to get moderate to heavy in order to really get good sets to failure, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat, and I don't want to ever say that my way's the best way. My way's the best way for me right now. Right now, what I'm doing is working for me. It might not in the future. I don't know. The main reason I wanted to come to a facility is because generally they have the equipment variety that you need. And I was hoping that they had a reverse hyper, but they did not. This is not a powerlifting gym. What they did have was this hip thrust machine. I was able to use the deadlift platform to perform some Jefferson curls. And what I'm really doing is just testing that back out. I want to put a significant load on it and see if I'm able to, before I try to do heavy squats or deadlifts, I wanted to test everything out. And they have a variety of leg press machines. They have, the standard sleds. They have these Life Fitness weird ones where it changes it's got like what do they call it? Mechanical advantage, where the cams change the weight depending on the range of motion that the weights are being pushed through. So it's not linear. You're not just pushing weights up and down. It goes on a curve. Vegas is a weird place. And even as big as this facility is, I'm a big fish in a small pond, because even though there's 100 or so people in this facility, most of them are your CrossFit Zumba types or your dude bros, lots of younger kids. And that's not to say anything against younger people. There's some incredibly strong younger people. But conversely, if I was to go to a powerlifting gym here in the Valley, I would be the weakest guy in there. So sometimes it's fun to be the big fish once in a while.